Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Fallout, Nevada. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as I took a bunch of stuff out of my car, because I have a bunch of stuff, including this thing, which is important, because I think, is it that one? Let me see. One thing I noticed just now, yes it is that if you press P while in the inventory, you don't actually go to the Pip-Boy. And I think you should. Not really sure how that works. But I took a lot of stuff out of the car. We have a lot of things that basically I haven't been carrying because they're heavy. And because I probably won't need money anymore because of life being amazing, I just bother less with loot. So I have Caravan Rush and a few things over here. So maybe this guy's coffee table is gonna be able to let's see, now that we have a lot more clean water, someone launched an artesian water tower. Artesian? Maybe I don't know what the word artesian means. I think an artesian well is just a hole in the ground, and it's like very deep well, but maybe it means something else. A situation over the city is just good, it's boring, and all the good things. Okay, about the coffee table. I have cat's paw, exactly what it needs. And let's see what else I have. Oh, the Caravan Rush doesn't... Okay, well, I sold my last cat's paw. Ah, well. Oh, by the way, somebody helped me in the comments. I should have known. Should have known the name. About the that guy's wallet. Now, I don't see any kids. Somebody said one of the kids took it. Yeah, I don't see any kids. But if there's kids, then I suppose I should look. There's a kid over here. Hey, do you have things? I think I stole from you already, so it's not... Oh, let's see. We got a thing for the thing for me to sell. I am definitely a nice person. Let's see. I don't have any scruples. What is this? There you go. I lost karma. No. Theft of a child's belongings negatively affects your karma. Shut up. It negatively affects their inventory, but my karma is good. Look at that. Look at that. My karma is even better than the last time I checked. Hey, I got a great comic magazine. It's a magazine that is a comic. Let's see. We have no kids. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, somebody, yeah. It's just, oh, I forgot you guys were here. Hey, how is it going? Wanderer. Do you know anything about Sheriff Burton's weapon? Super Science, he says. I know something, he says, mostly from an article in Super Science. Okay, what systems that is described? The prison. Oh, he said that already, didn't it? Yeah. I even went on a rant. I did not. This looks like the same thing, but the principles of electromagnetic acceleration. The bullet accelerates due to a stepped magnetic repulsion. Such weapons were only available to large military bases and military engineering laboratories. The Sheriff Burton's gun apparently was just from the northern military base, which was bombed in the year 2077. It's just a cartridge. It's 2mm. Yeah. The magnetic properties of metals, aerodynamics, mass balance. To be clear, it's pure physics and mathematics. Yeah, which is how all weapons work. If you want to learn, the article had. Yeah. Okay. So he pays me. Or I pay him for an article. You carefully study the excellent article about the ghost system from the magazine Super Science. It seems that with the proper repair skills, you could easily manufacture ammunition for weapons in electromagnetic acceleration. Yes, well, if you had all the things, because it's basically a chunk of metal. It's not like a bullet that needs all the three things, the propellant and the things and whatever. It's pretty simple, actually. It's very, very simple. That's one of the benefits of that, and one of the main reasons why they were even proposed in the first place is because, hey, I can make a thing that uses very little ammunition, or very little, very inexpensive ammunition. But anyway, it is also a small thing because of all the things. I have the encoder. Great! Just like we agreed. Here's your 300. Indeed. Do you have other tasks? I'll have to go on a business trip? Sure. That's if you want to make some money, of course. If we want our enterprise to be efficient, we'll have to set up some automation again. The main problem right now is the programmable logic controller. The rest our technicians can handle, but I don't think I've ever seen a single programmer here in Salt Lake City. You'll have to find a specialist like that in another city and get that thing working again. This is a very important task. Do you think you'll be able to do it? Sure. Then please go visit our chief technician. He's in the nearby building. He'll give you all the details. I'll cover your expenses after the job is done. Oh, and here's a ticket for the stagecoach. You may find it useful. No, I have a car. It's all fine. Actually, well... You know, it's cheap. It's free, I suppose. The stagecoach, so it's not too bad. Where the car, I need to pay for the fuel myself. Hey, do you... No, okay. Can you upgrade armor? Nope. The director gave me a task to repair something called the PLC. Even he didn't mention that it was the PLC. I know that I'm very good at this. Oh yes, I've heard so. Here, take this. It's a complicated thing. None of us are versed in programming, and that kind of experience is required here. Okay, how do I fix this? Well, you should know better. You are the one paid to do it. But actually, there are several options. The first is a technician in Las Vegas, which we were told about by the Caravanneers. Also the bikers. These are... They are crazy. Those guys are those guys are crazy about old technology, and if you have the necessary skills, then the entire fee is yours. If anything, the workbench is in the building in front of the office. That sounds very good. Tell me more about this device. Why is it necessary? The programmable logic controller. It's needed for the automation control of different appliances. Imagine we can connect to it all the conveyors, actuators, manipulators, sensors, loading cranes, and everything you need for autonomous work of the factory. People will only walk between the machines, monitor and supervise them in order to avoid accidents. Oh, okay. Interesting. But wouldn't that mean part of the workforce will not be needed anymore? Well, that was pretty obvious when he said make this more efficient. But also, it doesn't necessarily mean that. They might just increase the output. But let's see. You sound like that nerdy pharmacist. Oh, I know who this pharmacist is. Of course, the director will be able to fire a few slackers, but not even half. Even automated machines need monitoring and care, and for this task, people are needed. In our times, we can't trust technicians that much. I suppose that's technicians, because if it's techniques rather than techniques, I don't know. That makes no sense. Also, you can't? You're gonna put your whole manufacturing capabilities in the hands of technicians. It makes no sense either way. Okay, lovely. So the bikers, huh? How do I contact them? I need to go there. Maybe they will want to buy the PLC and be like, hey, I stayed bric-a-brac. Yeah, I'll sell it for 5. I don't know about them, he says. They usually don't warn you when you're about to enter this... What? They usually don't warn you when about to enter the city. Their base is somewhere in another place. Somewhere in another place, sure. Surely the sheriff should know. He would have found out everything he could about the guys like them. The guys like them, absolutely. So I need to talk to the sheriff. I know where they are, though. Actually, do I? I'm not really sure I do. I need to go to sheriff. Anyway. Yeah, sure. Good. Great! Wait, there is one more thing, he says. Don't tell the locals about the controller. In Salt Lake City, there are the types who shouldn't know about that we are restoring automatic systems. Why? Well, if you want to become a living target, then go ahead. I asked why. That wasn't an argument. I didn't say, well, I want to become a living target. Or I want to do something that you would correspond to wanting to become a living target. Also, I am a living target. It's very hard to target things that are not living in this game. However, in addition to those who just want to get a profitable order, there are people like our pharmacist who believe that fixing the factory would worsen the already crappy environmental situation in the city, and the people at the factory wouldn't be as needed as before, since the robots will work in their stead. Understand the subtlety. So keep the robots. It was the appliances before. Anyway, keep your mouth shut if you don't want to lose the money. Oh, I don't need money, so I guess that's I can open my mouth. But good stuff. Thank you. I mean, it's not like the game is making any argument here in relation to the dynamic that already exists between the owners of the factory and their workers. No, 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 no. It's who do I need to talk to? It's the pharmacy. I need to buy... yeah, buy a weapon, but it's not buy a weapon. It's, actually, I need to sell things. Ooh! A programmable logic controller does not work. Well, it does. It really, really does. I bet you better do, otherwise I'm not going to be able to program it, because it's... Anyway, let's sell things. That's pretty expensive. Don't I have, like, bullets and things? Not bullets, pistols. I have hiccups, though. But you know me, I've had hiccups since the beginning of everything. Super science. Oh, yeah, I need to read that. A towel. That's not necessary. Where is the rest of my stuff? Can I just click here on weapons? Yes, I can. And look at that. Don't have armor. Ammo. Oh, it works better here than it does elsewhere. Good. Yeah, I'll just get the money. Thank you. Thank you very much. Do you sell things that I would like? Kubotan. I would like. So, that would be 177 away. There you go. We have a helical pistol machine gun. Okay, I'll just get those as well, if you don't mind. Ooh, these are expensive. So 143. And then the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. Good. I'll go get something out of the car so I can sell it. Also, I'll read the super science thing. Where is it? Is it drugs? It's here, isn't it? Is it at the bottom? Holy crap. Is that it? Nope. I am not sure of anything anymore. And these things don't keep their sorting order. Am I skip? Oh, I got 2 travel tickets. That's good. Oh, yeah, this is very important. Yeah, I'll keep it. So I think I need to keep these things so I can craft them. We got this already. Bottle grenade. Not that I'm gonna bother too much with crafting, but... Huh. I don't know how or what it looks like. The super science book. I mean, I think I do, but it was here. And it's not anymore? I passed through it, didn't I? Buy it, I should say. Okay, so documents. Oh my god. I just saw it. Did you see it? It was the last thing. How could I... I was looking at that. I saw it. There it is. Freaking hell. Read that. Okay. So it's... I'll find it easily. Because I can look for a 14. So energy weapons, 23. There we go. You discover a lot of new information on energy weapons. 30. It's also worth mentioning that ghost rifles used to be small guns, rather, or the, you know, like the sniper. It used to be like that. It wasn't be energy. It didn't used to be energy. But I'm not really sure how it works anymore. It makes sense that it would be energy, not only, well, mostly not because of, let's put that away. Mostly not because of the way energy weapons are defined, but rather because, you know, it uses energy, I mean, to power the electromagnetic thing. But more, let me just get stuff to sell, and then I'll continue my dissertation over here. I'll sell some of that. Good. But more because of the way they actually feel. A ghost rifle wouldn't have any kickback because there's no energy transfer. So it just would fire. The thing is like pow. So precision would be good just on that account. How much? Sure. Give me all. I don't need any of the rest. I could take some of the rest. Actually, I will take some of the rest if I... Well, I'll take these. Sure, absolutely. Oh my god, that's so expensive. My god. Okay. Good, good, good. And the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. I'll take the ammo because I don't have too much of that, and I don't know if I'll find any cool rifle better than the AR-15 that I have, or whatever that is. A little bit of money here. That's good enough. And I will get 500. I don't have anything else to sell. Well, I can sell some of that. Nope. Doesn't matter. But I could buy some stuff. A gas protection suit. I already have one in my power armor. And there's some things. I could buy these. They're so expensive, though. Yeah, I don't need them. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of things. Okay, so I need to find a pharmacist. I also need to find a sheriff, and I don't remember where they are. For some reason, I have the impression that it's there's another. Oh yeah, there's another area. Of course, it's right here. I know the map. Also, I was hoping to spend the night reading the book, but that book didn't last too long. Here is the pharmacist. Hello, sir. I'm listening. I'm doing some work for the new Coca-Cola factory, and I was told not to discuss it with you. Why is it so? This is a very weird question, but it's not a question that you would never ask. It's just a very weird question. Let's see if the answer is apropos of that. How should I know? I don't know what work you were doing. It smiles sadly. I and various other activists had conflicts with the management of the factory in the past, simply because the liquid wastes of the factory make the situation with already ruined nature in the city even more perilous. The issue affects all residents of the Salt Lake. Good, because you live in the city, not in the lake. Well, so that's what's happening. So what kind of work you do for the factory? I got the contract to restore the controller that allows to use automatic equipment. Oh my god, with capital G on the god. I hope you are not going to carry out the contract? Why? If the factory restores the automation, it will be bad for all but a handful of the leadership of this company. And that's already what I was saying before. It already is bad for everyone except for the leadership of the company, you dummy. This is just gonna, well, it's not dummy you. Like, what it's saying is true. It's just, it's not like, you know, you're not fixing the situation, you're just preventing it from making it worse. Of course, this has a direct parallel to I think it's the origin of the word Luddites, that were really upset about the machines, not necessarily machines, but the automation. I think at the time it was the machines. This is like in the 1700s. And of course, this has an impact in the workforce. But they were just going to have to figure something else out. And yeah, I suppose maybe we'll see. The problem here is like the game is doing a double barrel approach to the situation, so I can't really converge the two arguments together because they often are related, but it's sort of thing. On the one side is the environmental aspect, to which I should mention is I'm definitely all for, you know, not polluting and all that sort of stuff, but in a world like Fallout, I don't think it makes thematic sense. Maybe it does. I'm barely above 30 years old as of this recording anyway, and my perception of the 50s and prior to that in relation to environmental studies is very, I would say, skewed. If I'm being optimistic, not optimistic. If I'm being sort of realistic. I think I have an understanding of what it is, but I think of what it was, I should say. But I think people didn't really care too much. I mean, as long as you weren't, dying too fast. After all, the 50s and after and before, certainly, look at all the mining and the way mining was done and the way waste was taken care of. Like, environment from environment, doesn't matter. And the only first real studies into the human impact not necessarily the localized human impact on the environment, but rather the worldwide human impact on the environment. the first studies really only started happening a few decades after the 50s. So again, going back to the wall, Fallout being sort of a harkening back to the sci-fi literature and comics and movies of the 50s. Yeah, this sort of thematically outside of the scope of Fallout, I would say. But I mean, this is not so much about. I mean, it's just more or less a throwaway line right there in where he says the world. How does he say that? Because the liquid wastes of the factory make the situation with already ruined nature. Yeah, that's just sort of that throwaway line that sort of makes me think of the wall. And also he says activist, which I suppose maybe environmentalist would be a better word, but maybe that would even make it even more out of the scope of the theme of Fallout. I don't know. But without that throwaway line, it would be more like, oh, it's just polluting the water and we can't drink it very well. And that makes a lot more sense and thematic sense because, just an immediate thing. Let's see. So those are two lines. It's just sort of a double-barreled approach by the game about how this Walk West goes, but I'm very tempted to just go with this. Let's see what he says. Let's see. The factory restores the... okay. I didn't even read that, did I? If the factory restores the automation, it will be bad for all but a handful... Oh, no, it did, yeah. Now there is a lot being done manually, but if the conveyors start to work without human hands, a big part of the workers will be kicked out to the street. In addition, it'll greatly increase the speed of operation of the factory, which will lead to the factory polluting the city with their wastes much more. What a strange irony. Is it irony? It's sort of it. Well, let's see what my character says. It's bad for the city without the factory, and isn't good with it, too. That's interesting. It's not really it definitely is an irony, but maybe the appeal here is that a balance must be reached, where the worker sees the means of production. Give me that controller, I will destroy it, he says. And in return, so he's just an old school Luddite here, and an environmental activist, which is, again, I can't reconcile those two. It's sort of weird. Well, I'm not saying that never happens. It's just, it's weird because it's two different things that, sure, they work together in this case, but anyway. And in return, I'll pay $350. I can offer no more, but you will do a good deed. And as for the factory, it won't make the situation worse for them. It won't make sure, take the device, even if it's less. I don't care for the money. It's fine. I care for the experience. Few will sacrifice potential earnings for the well-being of the alien city. Oh my god. Thanks, the alien city. The alien city. The alien city. I have no idea what that is all about. Anyway, I need to go and look at that electromagnetic. It's not electromagnetic. What is it? It's just magnetic powered rifle somewhere. Are you Bickle? What issue brought you here? If you came to Sheriff, he's in his office. I came to Sheriff, yes. Hey, I'm here to Sheriff. Hi. Doc. How are things going? More or less all right, I guess. Anything specific? We all noticed that the health matters in the city are getting better. We got way fewer diseases and there isn't such a crowd before the toilets anymore. This makes me happy. The wall city lives its ordinary life. The population does not complain. Everyone knows their place and somehow get along. He's a very good sheriff. They know their place, and I don't really know how they get along. Somehow, it's fine. I know. It's fine. It's all good. I need serious work. Well, there is actually something, but I am not sure you would be up for it. Well, I like that. I have many things. I've done many things. This is the weird line. Sheriff, I do not advise to reject my proposal. Oof. If you need, quote-unquote, wet work, I'm not sure what he means. I think it is a real word. But anyway, done. I have 23 aliens from Area 51 on my tab. For example, just brag. Just open square brackets, brag, close square brackets. And also threaten a little bit. But it's because I don't advise, it's just sort of threatening. I have seen a lot during my wanderings and got myself out of a lot of sticky situations. I would really like to help you. That sounds good. Look, Sheriff, you're a smart man. Again, intimidate. If you need someone for some quote-unquote wet work, then this is your real chance. There are 154 notches on my gun. Are there? I need to look at that. I mean, it's not at the weapon. I need to look at the Pip-Boy tab or character tab. I don't know. Don't you think I could handle a small local problem? Let's go with that. That sounds... Oh, he's getting... Oh, yeah. If you really are an excellent shooter, you may be able to stand up for yourself. Space. Ellipses. That's great. Was there a problem to be solved? First, a bit of history, so you know what kind of a hole you stick your nose in. Once there was a civil war in Salt Lake City, and the criminal underworld thrived under it. It was a difficult time for the city. Then I decided not to stand it any longer and deal with the bastards. Stand it any longer? The approximate circle of the perps was known to me. I took a resolute troop of boys, and we raided all their iniquity dens. I wonder what... Iniquity? What are you referring to as criminals, dude? Did you just go... where? The captives were broken and... Broken? Oh my... Broken free, I assume? Hopefully. I mean, and they gave out their accomplices. Oh, maybe captives is not the word. The captured criminals? I suppose. And broken were tortured. They were probably tortured. Sometimes it is useful to go too far. Well, it can't work. If it's useful, it's not too far. And also, I know what you mean. It's torture he's just saying, torture, ha, good. We collected a gang and put them on public display in the square. The city has well learned that lesson. Most scumbags hung on the gallows for 3 days. Those who were involved with some illegal business but did not deserve to die. Based on, I don't know how they, on his own judgment, they didn't deserve to die somehow, or something. Were expelled from the city. We haven't heard from them in a long time. Until recently. So, what do they do now? We nearly forget about them in time, but occasional deaths on the road southwards let us remember. Over the last couple years, we hear more about Provo, especially about attacks on caravans and travelers. Yes, I've been there. Sometimes these attacks make no sense whatsoever. I think they are taking revenge on us. Yes, that did sound like a thing. They asked me to sabotage the Nuka-Cola factory for no reason whatsoever. This is like there was revenge. That's the reason. So they don't come into the city? They are simply too afraid to come here. Because you will hang them, that's why. But apparently they get bored with farming. The gang occasionally makes small raids and robberies in the outskirts of the city, even though they don't come here. Outskirts it's not a city. Anyway. But there is a guy who holds the whole gang together. Also, it's not whole. I've been mispronouncing this word forever. Whole gang together. It's like the W is mute. So this is whole. It's the whole. It's a whole gang together. It's a whole. It's just like anyway. Who is he? Gary Gilmore. Or something. The, quote, records, unquote, of the offender are so diverse, it makes you wonder. I say, quote, unquote, because we don't really record anything. It's the thing. Anyway. For me, it's obvious that something clearly is not right with his head. He deserves to die like anyone from the gang. But, and this is important to me, his thugs need to see his death. This is important to you. Yes, the man who, yeah, I suppose. I mean, sure. And that wait, I'm not a mercenary. No, what keeps you? A dozen thugs in the unfamiliar ruins of Provo thought. Throughout? Thoroughly spiked with traps. What? Sure. It's a dozen thugs and traps. We lost a lot of good men trying to smoke them out. It's much easier to sleep in alone. But my people need me here, so I've been looking for a mercenary, bold and experienced enough to, if not get Gilmore alive, at least to bring him down. A serious job. Is there a proper serious pay involved? I'll pay a serious bounty of 3,000 per head. For the living criminal, I'll pay twice as much. I advise you to take the time and think carefully about everything. First, evaluate the situation, and then make a decision. I will do the decision. I will do the situation. What? Anything to say me? I think I did it. I think I chose the choice. I chose the choice. I'm out. We're good. Oh, and there's a broken lamp over here, which is lovely because I can fix it. Anyway, we're also out of time for the day. So we're gonna need to go to Provo next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Fallout Nevada. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.